Hey, all you Bigfoot enthusiasts out there. I've got a couple of things I want to share with you guys and go over. First, I have truck problems. I've been having some electrical issues with my truck, and I had mentioned this to one of the subscribers. We were talking through email, and I was trying to explain the situation. He was asking me, what was going on, and I had forgotten. And maybe some of you will remember, I had a situation down at Seven Creeks. Everybody knows where Seven Creeks is. For those that are new, go back in the videos. You'll learn all about Seven Creeks, right? It would have been late summer. I was on the west side Seven Creeks. It would have been in September. And I said my goodbyes. I was telling the Bigfoot there that I'll be back. I'm leaving. I'll come back as soon as I can. And I made my way out to the truck. I started my truck up. And I just started moving up the road, and all of a sudden, wham. It was like all my electrical went all crazy. All my gauges were bouncing around, and then at one point they all died completely. Truck was okay, it stayed running. I could drive. And I thought, okay, well, I don't know what this is, so I just kept driving home. And I get another maybe half a mile up the road, boom, everything comes back to life, right? Now I was thinking energy burst, like a magnetic pulse. And I say that because we have experienced that a few times here. And each time that's happened, it was at Seven Creeks. Twice with me and my sister. She used to come along with me, and we would go moose calling. And when I first started that was about 4 years back, it was when I first made the effort to try connecting with them. Clan, we knew they were there because we would always hear the whoops and the wood knocks and the vocals, and my sister knew they were there. I have some other relatives that knew they were back there as well because they would hear the noises, right? But that's where it first happened with us, and the first time it happened was with our SUV. The battery was never the same after that, because like thinking back, of course hindsight, right? Thinking back, after that happened to us the second time with the SUV, we had to replace that battery. I'm thinking back again, hindsight, with my truck. I got hit twice down at Seven Creeks with that. I think it's an electromagnetic pulse. We got to go there, right? We got to go there with these beings. A lot of people want to ignore all that stuff, but it's happening, and I'm experiencing it, and we have been for a while, both physically and when it comes to our batteries and our vehicles and stuff like that. So we have to go there eventually and really pay attention to that part where it pertains to Bigfoot, right? Sasquatch. So anyway, I'm having these vehicle issues, and I actually broke down. I went to a small city that's about an hour's drive from me one way to go get grain and stuff from my critters, from my animals here. Shut my truck off, loaded my grain, come back out to start it up and finish up in what I needed to do there, and dead. Everything was seized. That was the weird part. Like even the gear shift was stuck. I couldn't turn my key. Steering wheel would move, which was very odd because usually those two go side by side, right? Your ignition and your steering wheel. And even my brake pedal was tight. And then throughout the whole entire vehicle, I was hearing ticking, these little small ticking sounds. I spent an hour trying to get that thing going. Got a guy that was there in the parking lot to try boosting. Nothing. I finally called the roadside assistance, AMA, roadside assistance, and they came, we tried, and then we put a whole brand new battery in. Long story short, I made it home, but I noticed even as I come home, there was still some weird things going on with my gauges, so I'm not sure, but I think where it started was down at Seven Creeks. And yeah, I don't think they're intentionally trying to ruin my cameras or my vehicles. It's something, I was saying, maybe it's their way of saying goodbye, or, I have no idea, but it's like when they all rush forward, there's this energy with them. And even in the bush, I feel it when I'm in the trees and when they come forward and there's that sound of a wind. To me, it almost sounds like wind through dead grass. Whenever I hear it, that's the image that comes to my mind. But there's an energy that comes with them. And again, it's somewhere we have to go, right? There are these supernatural abilities, these spiritual anomalies. They are spirit part, like a big part of the whole Bigfoot Sasquatch is spirit. We're dealing with the spirit realm here, I think. The reason why I bring it up too is because I haven't been able. I'm afraid to go anywhere right now until I get that looked at, and I don't want to go too far for fear that that happens to me again. And because all the locations I go to are the closest one is 11 miles from me, and the other ones are further yet, and no cell phone service, right? So if I break down, I'm stuck. So I've got to be very careful there. But anyway, right now, because of this issue, I'm not going. So we're just going to stick to the farm, and I'm going to do some things here because there's been a lot of activity. And I had, for those that seen the post, my last post with the faces, these ones right here, I'll put them up now for the ones that don't get the community post. This was just a week ago. I put my camera up, static cam, just let it sit there. I had about 15 minutes left, and I was hearing noises, right? I was hearing these noises. At first, I heard like cracking and trees falling, and I was thinking beaver, because of the time of year. They're starting to move around. The water's moving in the creeks and in the little rivers and stuff. So they're moving around. I was thinking beaver. Then I hear it sounds like something was banging rocks together, like rock clacking. And I'm like, okay, that's not beaver. That's not beaver. So I quickly ran into my house, grabbed a camcorder, set it up on my hay wagon while I finished my chores, and this is what I found in the footage. It was only 15 minutes of footage because that's all I had left in the chores. But they were there where I zoomed down into where I thought I was hearing the noises, and I found them. Right, they were there. So there is a lot of stuff going on in the yard right now. We're having activity. I've just here a few nights back, I had one come and smack the side of my house. And it usually happens often in the spring, in the springtime, spring season. And I think they're just letting me know we're here. We're all here. And I've been getting the smell as well coming through my windows, and the smack on the side of my house. Heard some vocals night before last. And so there's quite a bit of activity here right now. So until I get my truck fixed, I'm going to stick around home. Just to be safe. Better to be safe than sorry, right? Second, for all those who've seen the post again on the community post, I had put up an image of me holding some chalk. These big pieces of chalk. And I really didn't give an explanation. I just said that I had an idea, and any guesses, I said, can anybody guess? And there were a few that were close and some that were dead on. And chalkboard. Just like this one you see right now, I'm building a chalkboard, and I would like to acknowledge a couple of the subscribers as well for mentioning, they were talking about tic-tac-toe, right? Our X's and O's, the other one was X's and O's, pretty much the same thing. And I kept thinking about it, and it's I think, and I'll build this chalkboard, one very similar to this one here, and it will be 2.5 by 5 or 3 feet by 5 feet. It's not going to be a small little chalkboard because they're big, right? And enough room to make a bunch of marks. And I want to start out slow with this because I'm not even sure if they'll even go for it. And this is one of those things too, it's very hard to document because it takes belief on your part, right? Because I can't put cameras there. If I put the trail cameras and cameras facing the chalkboard, I don't think they're even going to come close, or they're not even going to come there. So it is, like I say, these kind of things are hard to document. I'm going to start with one great big line and just leave it. And we'll start off slow, nothing intricate. We'll just, just a basic. I mean, maybe we'll graduate to stickmen. I'm kind of excited about it because if I get a mark following mine, if I initiate this and they go for it, I'm going to be pretty excited, and I will share it with you, right? But again, that's what I'm saying. These kind of things, they're very hard to prove unless you can actually have footage, of them doing these things, right? And again, we're stuck in that. It's like a catch-22. I put cameras out there to do that, and they won't come around. I catch orbs and stuff like that in audio, but I don't see anything physical from them. And that reminds me as well, and I had mentioned it earlier in another video. I'm gonna quit trying to sneak and deceive them. I've made that decision already, and I think I need to just do this straightforward, show them what I'm doing. That's why when I build this chalkboard, I'm gonna build it where I'm gonna put it where they can see me building it, right? And I think like they're watching me do this because they're always watching, just like those faces I just showed you. I'm doing my chores. They're there. They're watching, right? And they're gonna watch me build that. And I'm sure as I'm building, I'm gonna film, and I know we will get vocals and wood knocks and stuff like that, because a lot of times when I'm using a hammer or a saw, or I'm building something here in the yard, and I'm pounding nails and stuff, I hear similar sounds coming from the trees, and it's not an echo because I've hammered nails, put my hammer down, and about 20 seconds later, I'm hearing down in the trees. They're mocking, right? They're mocking me. That is my point, because I'm going to build where they can see me building, and they'll see what I'm building, and they're going to be very curious as to what that is once I'm finished and it's sitting there. Maybe they'll come and knock it down, and they might not like it. Then I'll know that'll be okay. Or they will be interested, right? Curious. So it is a chalkboard, and I tried to find the biggest pieces of chalk as well. They got big hands, right? Big hands and big fingers to hold something that they could hang on to. It's got some weight to it. And I will start out slow, and like I say, I'm just going to make one big mark, and we'll just leave it, see where it goes from there. Thirdly, I'm going to do a little shout out to somebody, and what I want to do here, and what I need to tell you. This was pretty exciting. This was pretty exciting for the person that shared this with me, and for me, as this was taking place real time. Keep that in mind. And I just want to do a little shout out to Dan. Dan is in the state of Maine, and he got a hold of me through Facebook Messenger, and he's telling me something's going on. He's at his workplace, and all of a sudden he's sending me video clips and stills, and this is happening real time. So he's having a Bigfoot encounter. He's having an experience at his workplace. Almost in the middle of the night, he was working 12-hour shifts. I believe they're 12-hour shifts, and so I'm up through the night because he's sending me this stuff, and I'm excited for him. He's excited. He's kind of getting a little, worked up. I know that feeling when these things are happening. I'm like, oh my goodness, right? I even went and did my chores and come back in and checked twice to see if he sent me something. He was okay with me sharing this. He would like me to share this with all of you. Now, I was researching Maine. Oh my goodness. This place is amazing. You've got coastal regions, you've got mountains. I didn't realize the mountains were so huge, right? Rivers and lakes. I think there's 42 state parks, and they're right along the Appalachian Trail. There's so much history there, and like the amount of different ecosystems, and for me it made sense. Yeah, there's got to be Bigfoot there, right? It's a beautiful place, and this is where Dan is. This is where he lives. This is where he works. I'm going to share with all of you a little bit of what he sent to me, and pay close attention. Use your earbuds, because there are some things to hear there. And like I say, I took the images that he sent me and just enhanced them for him and for you all. Pointed out a couple things, and so here we go. on that note, I will sign off here. With the truck issue, I hope, I'll just keep working at it. We'll figure it out. For all those that missed it, the chalk is for a chalkboard. And again, thank you, Dan, for sharing your experience real time with me. And anybody else, if you have any stories, my email is here again. Stay tuned. Thank you guys for being patient. The truck is kind of in the way of me getting to Seven Creeks or the White Birch Bigfoot Clan or the river, but we'll get there. But anyway, I will leave it there, and you guys, I hope everybody stays safe, and stay safe and take care, and we will see you in the trees. Bye for now.